Music feels a little loud for me. Let's see. Probably loud as fuck. Drawing. Oh, it actually says the right thing on the bottom of my screen right now. Animated emotes for valkyrae. All right. Hold on. I have another emote for valkyrae. Where there's some smoking going on. I could go borrow some assets from that animation to speed things up a bit, like the cigarette and all that. Let's go get it. Let's go get that. Don't remember what it's called. Thought it was Ray Dunn. Oh no, it's Saj. Saj. Okay. That's our other smoking emote. It's one of my favorites. Let's see. Yeah, that was a pretty good effect. Maybe I can steal this arm and the cigarette. Okay. Need some kind of eyelid, I think. Paint behind. Boom. Okay, this way if I move it down, it actually hides the eye. That's pretty good. Oh, finally we're working. It's so bad the whole past month. Sheesh. Since we moved, it's been hard for me to get to work, and also then I started playing and streaming Last of Us 1 and 2. And it was a bit much. I do need to get a lot of work done this year. But I needed to stream a game. I just needed it. And I don't regret it. And now I get to catch up with the Last of Us TV show and complain about the casting, like everyone else. So I just gave this character a random kind of a bluish green skin or fur for no reason yet. I just have to commit to something, and I can change that later. That's how I do it. And for the hand, I just choose a darker color, darker green. It's one of the only details that make it kind of a more fox-like. There's no really way to tell that this character is a fox, and I'm fine with that. We wanted something super minimalistic for this character, and we created it in like 2016. It was meant to be a fat fox. It still kind of is. Kind of is. Okay. The color's not bad. This doesn't work. I don't always like to make these characters' hands like human-like too much. Finding the middle ground is hard a bit sometimes. Having long fingers would be a little weird. Okay, maybe for now. Hi, Rhonda, welcome. Thank you. If I can get one of them done today, I'll be happy. I haven't been very productive lately. Gotta get back, gotta get the production back on track. Back in 2021, let's see. Wait, that one is not made by me? Maybe we worked together, maybe you purchased something from me from Etsy. Except this one is not made by me. But I'm glad you're supporting artists. That's awesome. You're one of us. From the Discord? Well, I don't know that anymore. I've done some sheeps. I have done some sheeps. Just not that one. Yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciate people, the kind of people that go on Etsy and purchase like prints or emotes. It's wholesome. It's wholesome for people to support human artists. Artists will very much depend on that very soon. The AI stuff and stuff around. I'm gonna go back to investing a lot on Etsy very soon. I'll like split my day in half where I work on some commissions and then I go back to upkeep, update my Etsy store. I keep seeing people becoming so successful on Etsy with like emotes, and they just always have like a better business idea than I have. Like I have the experience, you know, I have the experience. I can do pretty, I don't know. I'm very comfortable with emotes and animated emotes, but you know, I'm not always the smartest at marketing them, stuff like that. So sometimes I go on Etsy and I see some guy have like 40,000 sales selling little emotes. I'm like, what am I doing? Because I tried that. I did spend a bit too much time like 2 years ago on Etsy making emote packs, and the money that I made from it was not worth the money that I would have made if I had made these emotes exclusively for my clients right now. Sadly. But there are ways on Etsy to market better. There's a lot of things to try. It can be worth the time. So I'm gonna get back on Etsy, get back out there. Maybe also what I missed the most on Etsy, the most wholesome thing was honestly to sell prints. I just had like 3 prints out there, and over the years they always sell here and there. And then I get cute messages from the people buying them. Like sometimes they'll send a picture of like, hey, that's like my son loves Kirby, and like here's the print on my wall, we love it. Or like the Dark Souls print. That is just kind of a dream as an artist, right? Like someone purchased my art print and have it on their wall. That's just kind of, I've made it. That's the goal. So yeah, that's another thing that I'll make again on my Etsy store very soon. I think right now I got a binge because I have to really finalize Valkyrae's giant commission of 60 emotes. I mean animated emotes. I have like 25 more to make. So that will take me like 2 weeks, maybe 3 because I'm slow. So I'll do that and then I will have a hard focus on Etsy again. Or like split my schedule. Yeah. I will follow you on Etsy. Thank you. Yeah, there's already some stuff on my Etsy store, but I'm about to not rehaul, but like add a lot of stuff on it. Etsy? Oh, there it is. Oh, thank you so much for saying that about the valkyrae emotes. It's so fun that she came back this year and immediately reached out to me because I was like her exclusive emote artist back then, like in 2016, 17. And then she kind of left for big contracts that were like exclusively streaming on YouTube. But she came back now that all of her contracts are done, and then she can multi-stream on both platforms. She came back, reached out to me, and we've been working together again since January. It's really awesome. And because I've made her emotes and they're going around because she's popular, then Pokimane came back, also reaching out to me to get some work done for her this year. So I worked on new mascots with her. So that's pretty crazy. Those are my big clients from those years, a few years back. And we're back working together again. So it's like, wow, this year is pretty exciting. It feels like 2017 again. Yeah, same. Like I was sad when she left and like not being able to use her emotes on Discord and all that. Yeah, like I'm lucky, of course, with my clientele, and I have like a perfect network. I'm well established for as far as custom commissions go. I have my clientele. But so a lot of like newer, smaller artists on Etsy, they don't have clients like I do. So they can take the time and risk to invest and spend time putting up listings on Etsy. For me, it's always like a sacrifice. If I make an emote from my own channel, it's like, oh, I could have made that much money if I made it for another client instead. If I spend time on Etsy, it's like, oh shit, I could have spent the same amount of time and like buy myself a new computer. So these are like sacrifices for me. But when you start from the bottom and you don't have clients, well, all the risks are worth it. But yeah, that's why I'm just gonna have like a quota of like, okay, I'll make this much commission per day in the morning, and then I could have the afternoon to work on my Etsy store, upkeep it, add something, respond to emails, kind of thing. I think that's a good idea. If I spend the right amount of effort on Etsy, I think it can become a very valuable like side income business. Especially to battle, I don't know, the problems with AI and stuff, because I know that Etsy, the thing with Etsy is it has a culture of attracting people that like working with real artists. It always had that kind of culture about it. So it's kind of like a safe haven, a safe place for artists to kind of set up a side business there for the grim future where we might not be hired by businesses to do like graphic design work, stuff like that. So it's like throwing our eggs in other baskets, keeping on making nice art prints on Etsy, and just cute stuff on Etsy, passion stuff. People see it, people buy it. Like even like just last week, someone bought an old Resident Evil artwork that I've made like years ago. I look at it and I cringe because, of course, the classic, you know, I look at my old art and I'm like, I could do so much better today. And someone bought it. Instead of buying an AI Resident Evil print that would be like quote unquote perfect looking, you know? So someone bought my super imperfect old shitty art. That still was a lot of effort back then. And they'll probably appreciate it and put it on their wall. That's crazy. And amazing. That's amazing. That's why I have faith. Like, there's always going to be a large crowd that want to put up art from an artist, from a human on their wall, as imperfect as it is, right? That's the thing. That will never leave. So that's the clientele an artist has to build or aim for. But stuff like working with small businesses that usually hire people to make logos, that might be more problematic in the future. Yeah, that's the culture on Etsy, exactly. That's why I get frustrated though when I see AI art on Etsy, because it's like, wow, of all the platforms, it shouldn't be a platform for AI. The thing is, these companies, I mean, they're all big companies that don't really have a soul. I don't expect Etsy to just out of nowhere ban AI art unless it's by law by their government where they're situated. Just like ArtStation was built from the best artists in the world promoting the website, right? And then they started having like AI tools and promoting AI art. That blew my mind. Same thing with Adobe. Now they all have these AI tools promoting AI stuff. So yeah, it's like, wow, these companies that built their empire from artists' money. Now they're just backstabbing all of their clientele. That's crazy. But yeah, they're just there to make money, just like Etsy. So I don't really expect Etsy to like ban AI art, but I do expect Etsy's clientele, like a lot of them, to just kind of go after the art actually made by humans. And I'll have to advertise my art for being made entirely in the process by a human. Because I have to reach out to that clientele that it appeals to. Yeah, I'm also lucky because I guess there's still the culture on Twitch to be against AI art and to be supporting artists. There's always been that kind of synergy between streamers and artists around Twitch. I don't think that's gonna go away anytime soon, so I'm lucky for that. Seems like I can still do exactly what I do for a little while longer, but I'll definitely put some eggs in other baskets just in case. I miss my art streams. I'm streaming a lot more since I moved here to my new place. But the past like 2 weeks I was just streaming a lot of gaming. I just needed to get it out of the way, I guess. I had a little game craving. After all of the stress of moving and spending a lot of money. It was nice to just kind of chill and play a good game that was on the top of my list. I played Last of Us 1 and 2. Yeah, I definitely taught myself. Yep, I did. I wish I didn't. These days, I know a lot more about what it takes to reach a certain skill and how and what's the fastest way to reach skills. And it's by far taking classes, if that's possible. But these days, like school is incredibly expensive. So what I did was watch a lot of tutorials years ago. Photoshop tutorials, art tutorials, and eventually I paid for a class online, like a kind of university level class by an ex-Blizzard employee. It was built like kind of like a university curriculum, and this artist basically taught everything they had, like everything they knew. So that was very nice, and I learned a lot. I'm not even done with that class actually. It was so many hours long, but that's great because that's kind of the it's as closest as I could get to get university teachings. The next step would be to have access to a teacher that can review my work and that kind of thing, which I'm not opposed to like doing eventually. Going on forums and like exchanging my works with other artists and all that. Love that I'm settled now and enjoying my space and streaming again. Yeah, that's nice. That's the thing. Yeah, I was in the same place for 7 years with my partner, and it was very small. I was working from my bedroom, and I didn't notice how much that was affecting me. My productivity, my sleep, all that. Now I have my own little office here, with a big ass windows, nice view, like huge upgrade. It's been much better. So yeah, like feeling finally settled. Then I rewarded myself with some game streams. And now I'm like, all right, let's get back to work. Let's work hard. And I have really fun goals this year with the work and the projects on the side. My goal is to be very, very efficient with my schedule to make sense of working on my passion projects on the side. It's always a struggle for someone like me. Just finding the time for stuff like that. Thank you for liking my style. For emotes, I definitely have a style. Outside of emotes, it's still a work in progress. Like a lot of artists need to try a lot of things before they figure out their own voice. For like larger illustrations, for example. Like I'm still dabbling in a lot of styles when it comes to making prints, for example. Sometimes I'll make like anime art, sometimes more like a rough art brush, kind of painting brush, and just go crazy. Still a work in progress. I have my comics. I have a comic that I try to make weekly. It's been on a hiatus for a couple of months while I was moving and all that. Now I'm slowly gonna get back into making one of them per week. But in a way we can still see similarities in the art style from my emotes, I guess. So that's another kind of style that is becoming mine. It's kind of like that clean, black and white, definitely manga inspired art style. And yeah, that style is growing on me. It's becoming a thing. Eventually I'll make a content on YouTube where I'm gonna use this style a lot, because I want to do a lot more storytelling, and I'd love to have like some storytelling series on YouTube. It's kind of a passion project thing, and I'll probably use some black and white line art overall. That seems to be a thing because I grew up reading comic books and mangas, and I always liked the black and white aesthetic a lot. So I like horror a lot too, like horror art, like horror mangas kind of thing. I know what I like, and I just need to draw long enough for me to just get into my style for sure. As for my emotes, I absolutely have my style, and it's gonna stay the same. I've made enough emotes that I got my thing going for sure. For valkyrae to commission you for Hi Hi Studios. Wait, oh, that's her like anime thing. I forgot about that. Wow, that would be crazy. I guess that's not even a goal of mine that much. I've become such a solo player. All of my ambitions are like writing my own short stories and soft animating and narrating them on YouTube, that kind of thing. That kind of thing. I don't have, at my old age, I don't have that many ambitions to work, to get hired by like this badass team of animators. Usually they hire like young talent. So if I make it big, it's gonna be like someone will pick up my stories on YouTube and want to make a series out of it or something. That would be the only way. I doubt I'd have what it takes to get hired as like an anime animator. That's a little bit out of my reach. I didn't really study animation. I'm super versatile for sure. I have like a wide skill set, but I'm not like great at one thing like animating. And usually when you get hired in a studio, it's like you're the best in the world at that one single thing. That's also the same in game studios. You're gonna get hired for like a specific skill and really hone it. I have a weird background though. I actually made, at some point in my life, I made like 3 whole video games with just me and a buddy of mine that's a programmer. We started our own little indie business. We were both already like 30. we were like single and 30 and broke. And we started the business and we made 3 mobile games. Like kind of small ones, because that's how you have to start, you know? Just like when you want to become a writer, you start with short stories to get the feel, to learn a lot. Well, we made no money and it was miserable, but holy shit, we learned so much. What an experience. And I'd love at some point to kind of ask my programmer to make an emulatable version of those games so I can at least show them on my PC or something. Still very proud of what we've done. But at that point, that's when I went ham into art. I was mostly a musician back then. So I was just chain watching tutorials and practicing art, making music for our games. What a journey. That's what I mean, like I'm more, if I would work in a video game company, I would be much more useful in an indie game company because of my wide skill set. Like you got to be versatile when you work in a small team, because one of the guys need to be able to do marketing, one of the guys need to be able to do sound effects, art. Like you have to cover all of those like 50 roles with like 3 guys or like 10 guys. So that's where I would shine. But like in a big studio, like I don't know, Ubisoft or Squaresoft, I would be more like replaceable by someone that's like a god at one thing. That being said, I'm so lucky and I like being my own boss. I like what I do. I like working at home, doing my own thing, having no boss. Sometimes I'm jealous. I'm like, oh, it would be so fun to work on like those Castlevania series. I'm mutuals with one of the directors of the Castlevania series on Netflix, and I'm like, fuck, they're so passionate. They're art lovers. I love that. Like working for a team like that must be a good vibe for sure. I can envy those really talented artists that work on that stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Ray does with High Studios. I haven't looked into it yet. Well, if I eventually have somewhat of the skill set to work on any role of that animation business, then hey, we'll see. I have it in with Ray. But yeah, I have a lot of like projects and ambitions that are thankfully reachable as a solo guy. So slow right now with my animation, but doesn't matter. I felt today like if I didn't stream, I would be even slower off stream. I would have been like super distracted watching podcasts and stuff because I'm a little tired and I get easily distracted when I'm tired. But on stream, I always end up finishing something, even if it's long, it's slow, and I'm chatting with people. I end up finishing something. That's what I enjoy about streaming. Anyway, I come here to chat and waste time. Alright, what am I doing with this one? You would probably giggle. I'm gonna improve that later. Just getting the kind of the base going here. Giggle like that. Then he would close his eyes right here. The littlest thing is the biggest accomplishment in art. I'm not sure specifically what you mean, but I feel like that's true though. In general. You're right though that even just as a general thing, just finishing something feels great. Finalizing a commission for a client. Yep, that I get a high from that. When the client is like, "Oh, you've outdone yourself. Amazing. I have no comments. Send your invoice." That's like, I probably get a rush of serotonin or something. I can just cross that thing off my checklist and get on the next thing. That's just like satisfying. Yes. The opposite thing is also true. Like if I spend too much time doing revisions and little tweaks for a client, and then it's like it ends up like not being super worth it, where you feel like you're losing money doing that. That's not a good feeling, but it happens. Whoa, that's a really good question. What's imposter syndrome again? Feeling like you're not as good as people might think you are, that you're not worth the money that you charge. I think early on, my clients were super validating my work, and I was such in the business at like the best timing ever, because like I was one of the first ones to do this period. So I had like no competitors. So all of my clients were big streamers, and they were all just always like happy and amazed at my work, even though for today's standards they would be like beginner emote artist work, right? But I was like ahead of I don't know, ahead of the times, I guess, with my business idea, and they were always so happy. So it was so validating that I didn't really feel like imposter syndrome. Maybe I feel that when I have to like up my prices after a couple years, and then when I feel like it's too expensive for my clients, that's the worst feeling for me. I don't like when my regulars can't really afford me. I don't like them, or I don't like to think that it's too expensive, because it's getting up there. But like, I know deep down, I know the true value of what we do, and it's not like what we charge is not a fraction of the worth that it's meant to be. If I sold this work for a company, a big ass company, we would make like so much more, so much, like ridiculously much more. I'm telling you. Graphic designers, I mean, they work with real companies out there, and I know many of them, and they tell me this kind of work I would make like easily like $1,000 per little drawing like that, or a mascot that I create. But you know, on Twitch it's like we work with an individual, not a company. We're hired by just some young some young dumb streamer. Just kidding, but you know what I mean. We're just working with that broke streamer. The standards are not the same, and everybody can try to make emotes. There's a lot of emote artists, there's a lot of streamers, and all of the other emote artists are just kind of people in school that it's not really their main job, so they don't care, they just charge pennies. And then in comparison, then I'm like, wow, I'm like mega expensive compared to them. But like, that's my living, and I've been doing that for over 10 years or something. And so I have grounds and means to charge more over the years. But yeah, maybe that gives me imposter syndrome, or like at least a feeling of discomfort when I have to charge a lot more than the average emote artist. But knowing the value of things, it's like I know that I should be I should be making a lot more than I do. But I don't like maximizing what I charge, and I push away my regular clients just to get just to filter and get the one that's up for paying a lot more. I don't like that, so I don't charge it as much as I do want to charge. So I think on Etsy it's nice because we don't have like a very direct interaction with our clients. They take it or they don't, and I'm not part of the transaction. I'm just background. I like that. So I feel like I can mess around with prices on Etsy, and I don't have to feel bad if something is too expensive. It will simply not sell enough, and I'll adjust it, and that's fine. So I feel like, yeah, that discomfort doesn't apply to my Etsy stuff. So I should make more, and eventually maybe I'll make more income on Etsy than I do with this business, since I'm so afraid to charge more, and the culture is to be cheap. I have this to tweet at some point for fun. There's a big ass streamer with like millions of followers that I reached out to. I rarely have to reach out to people. Thankfully, just the word of mouth. They come to me, the clients. But that person said, "Thanks so much. Would love to work together and appreciate you reaching out. But I found some people for much less at $5 an emote. Keep killing it." I've been years ago. I was at 40 per emote US. Eventually, it was 60 for a couple years since before the pandemic, and last year I switched it to 75, and that was hard. That was a hard one for me. The other ones that started when I started, like Ugu Bear, my friends emote artists, they charge even more than that, and we still have business. We still have, like, we work with big streamers. They have the means, and we actually make them a lot of money with these brands. So in a way, I should make a lot more than that. But compared to that $5 emote, it's so ridiculous that they said that. I'm sorry, but I found someone for much less, $5 an emote. Like, what are you saying? It's like them saying that was a way to telling me that I'm expensive. uh, Did you ever? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You asked that. This is chill. It's getting hot in here though. Might need to use my AC, and that puts me at risk of jumping the breaker. We do have like central, not central, but like a nice wall AC thing on the main living room. But when Crystal and I both stream at the same time, I close my office door and it gets really warm in here. So I have a portable AC that I put in my window, but it's still trial and error. But the last 2 times I used it in 2 different outlets while I was streaming, the breaker jumped at some point. So I have to... I got a longer cord and I'm gonna try other outlets. Yeah, these tiny ACs take so much juice. It's ridiculous. Lunch, lunchtime. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it a lot. Gonna start my AC. Wish me luck. gonna be a little loud, but at the same time I have some noise filter that's pretty powerful. It might just make my voice sound weird a little bit, but it should hide the AC sound pretty well. I think what sucks for animation streams like that is I don't have like a nice full screen character. Like if I was doing some kind of illustration, I need space for my frames, and it's even better if I can see all of them like that, so they take most of the screen. That's a little bit unfortunate for us as far as like what the audience can see. It's not like as visually appealing. Oh well. What can I do? What's lagging? Am I lagging? Okay. Okay, that's the delay just on Twitch side, not OBS. We're good. We're good. You know what? That looks fine. That looks fine. Yes. Okay. Need those beautiful lips green. Not very clean, but we'll figure it out. But I'm a mess. Boom. Okay. Getting there. I should steal some other assets from this, like the cigarette getting burned here. Thinking of making the cigarette way bigger later. And by later, maybe right now, because that sounds funny. What the fuck? Way too big. I wish we had a lot more than 60 frames for these. Because you need to blow the smoke after that. Now I don't have space. Something like that, so that we hide this part. Delete it. And then you could blow the smoke. Should I just copy the smoke from this one for now? Probably for now. Smoke 1, smoke 2. Copy layers. Potential. Like the dumbed down version of what I want to do with this emote, but it's getting there. So, what the fuck is that? I mean, not able to save it. It's my Dropbox freaking out right now. Okay. We'll give it another save just in case. So, go giggling. Trying to do a lot of movement in only 60 frames per second. So, I'm gonna have to make it even lower in FPS. Let's do 10 instead of 16, which is super low, but hold on, it's not a real speed. Even that's not a real speed, unfortunately. I don't know why it's not accurate. But let's do 12. What is that smoking? It's all gone. Try this. Not perfect. Boom. Cigarette should be up here. Getting there. Why is the smoke already there? The smoke could stay longer if I flip the animation around. It starts by the smoking. Let's try it. Okay. The fuck happened? I lost some frames. Needs a lot of tweaking, but hey, it's not bad. What's up with these clouds? Wait. Hmm. What? Oh crap. Better. As a base, this is pretty good. That's kind of where we want it to be. Then I need to polish a lot more. Yeah, I can make the giggling much better and more detailed. But the vibe, the cycle, yeah, I need to fix the eye expression to it. Not bad. Okay. All right. You know what? I think that might be enough just for today. And I'll try to tune in more often. I might stream just tomorrow. Even just for a few hours, I can come back, play some Muse, and make another Ray emote. Another Ray emote. So, have a great evening, friends. Thanks for tuning in, stopping by, lurking. And I'll try to stream tomorrow. Bye, guys.